Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. A few days back, we of course saw the launch of Season 3 Reloaded. And with it, surprise, surprise, we saw a major title update, we saw a major gameplay update, and we also saw major issues because of it. And unfortunately, this has been a trend with Call of Duty, especially this year, but also dating back several years. We'd see large updates go out and something would break. It used to be the gas mask or the stims back in Warzone 1. We'd have a stim glitch in Season 2, they'd finally fix it, and then Season 3 would drop, and what do you know, the stim glitch is back for a couple of days, or the gas mask is broken again and can be infinitely applied in the gas without actually taking damage. That used to be the issue back in the day. Now, though, it just seems like every time we see a significant update, whether it's a seasonal update or especially this year, a reloaded update, the entire game breaks in some capacity. Most recently with Season 3 Reloaded, reloading would not work whatsoever, which is ironic that the update that did it was titled the Reloaded Update, but it's the Can't Reloaded Update. Anyways, Call of Duty is breaking consistently with every major update. I wanted to talk a little bit about why this is, but also if we think it will actually change going forward. I think there's some positive things to take away from it, but there's also some rough things at the same time. As we do go through everything here today, if you enjoy the video, do me a favor, drop a like on it. It is always really appreciated. And if you're new to the channel or you simply have not subscribed yet, every single day I got you covered with news, updates, patch notes, meta breakdowns, all things going on in COD right here. So feel free to hit that sub button and turn on those post notifications. Now, like I said, this year, especially with MW3's updates and Warzone 3's updates, I feel like the amount of broken things have kind of just been amplified, dating back to, what was it, Season 1 Reloaded, where the entire game just like broke for the entire day. The servers were completely, offline. Everything was getting reset. It was visual bugs and everything was still being tracked in the back end, but on the surface, the entire game was unplayable. And then you have other updates where it just absolutely destroys the servers and there's significant packet loss for the coming days and weeks, or you can't reload, or your interact button just straight up doesn't work and things like that. It's definitely been amplified this year, and I think that timing isn't solely coincidental. Hey, MW3 just happens to be especially broken. You may recall that a couple of months back, after Microsoft took over Activision Blizzard King as a part of their acquisition, they laid off something like 1,900 employees from Call of Duty. Now, this was across the board. It wasn't just for those people working on Modern Warfare 3 and Warzone. Other support studios had layoffs. There were layoffs in HR or marketing or all these other places, right? But there was also a lot of QA, quality assurance, people that were laid off as well and let go as well. And the day that happened, I said, I don't understand the process of laying off a team that is working QA on a game that's in the middle of its life cycle. And lo and behold, I mean, we had issues then. That's not to say the game was flawless when everyone was there, but since then, especially when it comes to things that you think would be picked up in QA sessions or things that would be tested beforehand when an update went out, we've had some significant problems with the game. Reloading not working, audio being messed up, gas masks not functioning as intended, all sorts of stuff like that. I don't think you can purely say, hey, it's 100% a correlation to QA employees being fired, or hey, it's 100% related to this, that, or whatever else. But I do think that timing there is especially funky, and it's not helping support the argument that you needed less QA, because the game has not improved in terms of quality there, with less bugs or less glitches appearing after those employees were let go. So that to me was a head scratcher on day one, and now looking back at it, it's like, man, I wonder if we had more QA on this game, perhaps these mid-season updates wouldn't be game-breaking every single time one dropped. Or hey, perhaps these seasonal updates wouldn't cause features that have worked okay for the past few seasons to randomly just break for a week while they go through and fix it. I think that is a very unfortunate circumstance across the board now that definitely does not make Microsoft look great in that light when you bring up this specific situation or this scenario here where the game is constantly breaking. Not to mention, at the same time, it also kind of feels like we are the QA for this game, frequently. Shout out Chad of Duty. We've talked about Chad on the channel a lot. He has his own community run Trello board. We obviously talk about the official dev run Trello boards for multiplayer and zombies and Warzone, but Chad's gone through dating back a few years now and done this community Trello where he collects information from players across the board, whether they are giving feedback, hey, it'd be really cool to see this feature or that feature, or he goes through and finds all these different bug reports for zombies, for multiplayer, global issues, Warzone issues, and he reports them himself. And when you compare his Trello board to the general Trello boards, it's night and day. There's an endless list of issues. There is an infinite amount of issues, it seems like, that Chad reports here in detail, providing examples, providing footage and evidence compared to the official Trello boards, which they get updated decently. Like, we're pretty consistently talking about new things being added or things being resolved there, but the amount of things talked about is dwarfed in comparison to Chad's, which I do think is also not a great look. Hey, we fired a bunch of QA from our game that now is riddled with bugs, but we're also getting dozens and dozens and probably hundreds, if not thousands, of player reports to say, hey, I did this and then this broke the game. So not necessarily a great look there either. Now, the big question is, can we actually expect this situation to improve? Can we go into the remainder of the MW3 year and say, hey, Season 4 reloaded, Season 5 reloaded, Season 6's launch, it's not going to completely break the game? That, I think, is a little bit more questionable than looking ahead to Black Ops 6 or Black Ops Gulf 4, whatever it's going to be called, just because of the different scenarios with the game's development. As we know, Modern Warfare 3 had 16 months of development, it was reported, which is about half of what a standard COD would get. And obviously, Black Ops 6 or Call of Duty 2024 is the first ever 4-year development title, meaning its level of polish at launch, and I would assume throughout, should be much higher than really what we've ever come to expect. And its level of bugs and random one-off issues like this should be a lot less than what we've seen this year or in recent years even. But I do think it's an unfortunate circumstance where MW3's really just been given some trash cards. A really short development time, having to come off of MW2, which was kind of disastrous, especially for Warzone with how it was received. Multiplayer as well didn't really thrive all that much beyond launch. And then you're stuck in a game where you just had a ton of employees fired in the middle of it, and you have to consistently still put out the same amount of content, the same amount of updates, and try and fix things that those updates cause with less people potentially working, or maybe even different people that you weren't familiar with working on it from before. So a really unfortunate situation across the board for MW3. Ideally though, given the circumstances with COD 2024 going forward, the shared engine means they've just learned more about what works and what doesn't with certain updates and how things are going to interact with one another when you do force certain things live or make specific changes. So all of this being a learning situation, I guess, is like the kind of silver lining, if you will. Hey, we know when we did this on an update, it completely broke reloading. We need to make sure that's not the situation when we do it again or when we make this change in the future. But yeah, I think going forward, Call of Duty has kind of given itself the reputation of, oh, major update inbound, expect the game to have significant problems. I think it was, the one Spider-Man movie, expect disappointment and you won't be disappointed. Maybe that's the outlook that we have to have sometimes with some of these updates, but it does suck that that's kind of the correlation now. Oh, COD's got a big update coming. I wonder what it's going to break this time, instead of, oh, COD's got a big update coming. Really excited to play that on day one and experience all the new things and all those new changes. And until we do see a consistent string of, this update dropping and there not being significant issues, or that update dropping and things being smooth, that perception probably is not going to change all that much, as unfortunate as it is. But all that being said, that is going to wrap things up for this one. Yes, indeed, Call of Duty is very broken, and it seems to just keep breaking. If you enjoyed the video though, do me a favor, drop a like on it. And if you're new here, be sure to hit that subscribe button on your way out to guarantee you are always up to date with all things going on in Call of Duty. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you later. Peace out.